Hey, brothers and sisters, I got a video for you today to help God willing lead you into success, into fulfillment, into purpose, into life and blessings, and honoring, most importantly, the Most High. So, I want to start off. Today's going to be about mind, tongue, and heart. We don't hear people talk about the tongue that much, but we do hear people talk about the mind and the heart. God says a triple cord is not easily broken. So, if we start learning how to master all three, your mind, your tongue, and your heart, then you'll be able to start learning how to not only stay up, but pick other people up. And then not only pick other people up, keep everybody together up successfully rather than just pick them up and they fall and or yourself. So I want to jump into it. God says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So this is starting off with the mind. This is the importance of mind. And then the next verse, that's Proverbs 23:7. The next verse is, God set life and blessings or death and curses before every single man. That's in Deuteronomy 30:19. You can look up these verses. I paraphrase them. So as we said, God said, he said life and blessings or death and curses. You have a choice. Every day you have a choice. Every moment you have a choice. And it's going to play out into a multitude of ways. Next verse is, life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's what you use. What are you saying? And I'm going to break all these down. I'm just going to start off on each point, and I'm going to break them down a little bit more specific and practical ways. Next up is, what the righteous desire will be granted. And then on the flip side, what the wicked dread will come upon them. That's Proverbs 10:24. Once again, you can look up these verses to find out more details, to get more meat of those who are ready for that. You should look up these verses. The previous verse, which I didn't mention, is also Proverbs. I had to abbreviate it. Proverbs 18:21. And the last one is, to the pure, all things are pure. To the unpure, and well, it says defiled, nothing is pure. And that's Titus 1:15. Once again, for you who want to look deeper and are hungry for more, you can look up all those verses. Now, for those of you who aren't that deep into it and you're just starting out, understand all those concepts that you hear from the world and people, say like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, all these like Chuck Norris, like Muhammad Ali, all these inspirational, motivational videos that you watch and you hear these great quotes, they are all coming from God. It's not them that quoted it. When they're saying anytime you're hearing these quotes, it was always from the Word, which the Word is God. So I'm trying to learn to teach you, instead of going to that mediator, that motivational speaker, or that legendary quote that you admire from somebody that you call an idol. What they got was all from the Word, was all from God. All this is biblical. As a man thinketh, so is he. What are you thinking on? If you think, Will Smith has a saying, it's a quote, and the reason why I'm using them is because you guys so often look at celebrities and other humans not realizing they're not given the credit where it's due. The credit really is from God, which he is the Word. He says there's a situation where a man thinks he can do it and a man who thinks he can't do it, and he's like, usually both are right. And he's really just breaking down this verse. And, he's being innocent as a dove, but as clever as a serpent when he's sharing these things. And a lot of celebrities do this. They share the gospel in ways that people don't realize. But sometimes you guys don't really understand that this is the gospel. They got their teachings from the Word. They got the understanding, the success from the Word. The only tragedy is when you get it and then you don't look back and give praise to who lifted you up, who helped you. It's like when somebody makes it big and they forget all the brothers, all their sisters, their parents, their family, the coaches, the ones that were influencing them, helping them. They just totally forsake them. Let's not do that. Let's realize when we learn these things that are good, where we got them from. It was always from God. So once again, as we're saying, I have it kind of in order with mind, tongue, and heart. Your mind, what are you thinking about? Do you think you can't complete that New Year's goal? Do you think you can't get that business? Do you think you can't resolve your marriage and the issues with that? Do you think you can't get back into your child's life because you hurt them and or you abandon them? Do you think you can't lose that weight? You're thinking it and you're setting it before. You're choosing death and curses and defile and evil. You're the one choosing it just through your mind. And then tragically, it doesn't just stop there. It goes from the mind to the tongue, and furthermore, all the way down to the heart. And when you think it, usually you speak it. And when you're speaking it, as mentioned before, life and death is in the power of the tongue. He's giving you both choices. He's trying to say, this is in the power of tongue, but also this is as well. Which one are you going to speak? When you're speaking curses, literally cursing, and you're being vulgar, you're speaking these curses over yourself. Our tongue has so much power. Encourage people, uplift people, love people, be gentle and kind with people, and simultaneously do that with yourself. And you can help people who are so hard on themselves, feeling unworthy. You can start telling them, hey, you know what, you are worthy. And then point them to the word. The word is what's going to do it. All those like kind of looking good on the outside but corrupt on the inside type motivations aren't going to do it. You need foundational things, and the word, which is God, is foundational. That's what you're going to need. So you're going to need to start speaking good things. When you've heard of all these other like new age and sayings like manifestation is in the Bible. They're taking what's good from the word, and then they're distorting it and twisting it, and then they're trying to say people who come to the Lord, they're like, all of that's defiled, and they throw away everything. No, the enemy's been trying to twist and defile and distort it. And then he wants you to be so fearful from concepts because you have seen a little bit of shadiness that you throw it all out. No, what you think is pivotal. What you believe is pivotal. What you say is pivotal. All these things have vast amounts of power. God says it's impossible to please him without faith. You got to have faith. So have faith that you can do it. Think that way. So if you're thinking unfaithfully, if you're thinking death, curses, and you're unworthy and all these, you're not only are you destroying yourself and walking into damnation, you're also simultaneously not pleasing God. God's like, no, you need to believe that I can part the Red Sea. You need to believe that I can put you in the lion's den and close the mouth. You need to believe that I can send you in that fire and you won't get burned. You need to believe that I can do all these things, but you have to believe. And all three of these are ways that you can start adding on to your belief to enhance and to study and to grow and turn into what you're supposed to become. There's different ways, but I'm telling you, your heart is pivotal too. Just because you may be a quiet person, you don't speak. So you're like, all right, well, I don't really speak much when I'm around people. What are you saying in your heart? Maybe to yourself. You might not verbally express it with your tongue, even when you're by yourself. But what are you thinking in your heart? Man, that guy's trash. And you're hating on these people. They may do wicked and evil, and let the Lord be the judge. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. But what I want to say is, do you ever think about praying for them? Do you ever think about kindness for them? Those are the things the Lord said. Love thy neighbor as thyself. You got to pour out goodness. In order to do that, you need to have goodness. You cannot love without love. God first loved us, and that's why we love. So he fills you up, he pours you in. And when he does that, all three of these will get in line. You'll start thinking about holy things, pure things. You'll start speaking about holy things, pure things. And you, not only that, you have a desire to have that pureness and holiness. And all of that is holiness is God. It's Jesus Christ. And that's why, going back to what the righteous desire will be granted. In the contrast, same verse, what the wicked dread will come upon them. With that being said, you have to understand it's what you set your sights on. And that's, I drew a little vision for those of you who are more like picture focused and visionaries and aspects like that. It's the same thing. Here you are in a practical aspect. This is the back of the head. My drawing is not that great. But anyhow, straight ahead. The path is straight ahead. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Don't get caught up on your shortcomings, your backsliding, you falling. Learn to look at the Lord and hear his voice. Hear him tell you he's holy. You're holy because he tells you you're holy. Because Jesus took his place, took your place, but also swapped you with his. He calls you holy. He calls you righteous because Jesus swapped with you. It's not just that he died on the cross and took away only your sin. He also made you holy. That's what he says. So you need to understand and stay focused on him. Like Peter walking on the water. Don't look to the left, to the right. Stay locked in with the Lord. And then that's how you're going to make it to where you got to go, your journey. But on the side, there's distractions. There's death. There's curses. There's lies. There's devil, unworthiness, being isolated and alone. There's all these things that the enemy wants you to do. He wants you to get caught up on the left, caught up on the right, and fall off the path of the straightforward path that he set before you. In order to do that, though, you got a vision. You got to see God. You got to ask for God. You got to request from God. You got to hear God. It is a journey and it is hard and there's a lot that goes on in this life, but you can trust him. You just have to really set your sights and know and think and pray and talk and be filled with him daily, daily, daily. So I hope this was your daily food and daily bread, and I hope you spend time with God today one-on-one. God bless.